Good morning and welcome back to Bloomfield, Canada. It's another beautiful day out on the homestead. We come on over into the field we were in last episode. Our grass has sprouted. Yield potential 125%. Expected yield 122%. I think that's just because we didn't roll. We do have some stones in the field. Once again, because we didn't roll. So I think what we should really do is invest in a roller at some point. Over the last two episodes, I was talking about creating a new field. And I did. I did create a new field. If we just open up the map, as you can see, I created a new field. Well, actually, I created two of them. So if we scroll over to here, I seeded this one with grass. And this one's just plowed out. I'll take a quick rundown just so I can show you guys what I actually did. Now, I haven't taken any soil samples of this land yet. I haven't put down any lime and or fertilizer. It's just plowed. I figured we are into November here now. I cut off some of the edges to make it a little bit more square, a little bit better. Our neighbor harvested his corn, so it's a little bit better to see in here. So we've got this long rectangular field, and then we've got this big, more square field of grass. So at least now we have two grass fields. This one's bigger than the first one by a lot, I think. It's probably the same length, a little bit deeper width-wise. So maybe it's a third bigger. This one's definitely our biggest field though. By far. And if we are going to do any sort of other crop, we can put it in this field, or we can just put it into grass. To be honest with you, we'll probably just be putting it into grass, because the route that the homestead is taking, as of right now, well, we own a mower. So a sickle bar mower, that's a piece of equipment that we already own, that gives us the ability to cut grass as well. So I did talk to our neighbor over to the left here as well. He is more than happy to let us come in and mow his yard for hay as well. Now, because of the game, we have to plow it in and then reseed it. So there is that. So this section here, he didn't say anything about the left, but that's a pretty small area anyways. But everything from the driveway over to the tree line that he owns, he will let us do. The problem is we still got to pay him $10,000 to tear up his ground. So if we go into the map here, this whole plot is $41,000, but we don't want that whole plot. We only want this little section where my cursor is right now. So I figured $10,000, he can still live in his house, is more than fair. In a couple years, who knows, maybe even just 2 years, if we can get 3 cuts off it, that will hopefully pay for itself. We don't have $10,000 to give to him right now, so we can't start doing anything, but that is something that I'm working towards. Another thing that I'm working towards, that I did briefly off camera, I told you I was going to be doing a little bit of forestry. We've got some forests, and once you get onto the far side of the orange trees that you see, there's some big pine trees back in there. So what I started to do is there's a little section to the left and to the right of our little clearing in here where our greenhouse is. So our greenhouse is down in here. Our tomatoes are doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We got 2,500 liters of tomatoes just sitting there, and another 556 liters sitting in the greenhouse, which is perfect. We'll be selling those in a little bit. But if we can, you can see there's some big tall trees over here, and there's some on the ground. So I did start cutting some of them down. I haven't bucked them up. I haven't done anything like that. But this would probably be a decent little placeable area or another little field. Like, it's not super deep. We come running through, we'll definitely be able to see the size better once we get the trees out of here. but we don't have anything to pick the trees up or even transport them, really. Like, we've got a little flatbed trailer, but for logs, you kind of want something with sides. Like, it's not that big of an area, but it's decent. It's definitely decent. We are very small scale, so if we can get a lot of small fields all put together, that's going to equal up to a decent size at the end of everything. This actually wraps around pretty good onto the other side as well. And then we've got this whole side here as well. I think it's a little bit smaller on this side, but we definitely got a lot of room just on the other side of the road from our house. So I think this is going to be my project for this winter, at least, is to cut up most of these trees, take them down. Either if I gotta cut them up in tiny little logs, that's what I'll do. Or if I can get them into like 6-meter sections, I'll do that as well. Like these ones I can pick up. And they're not that heavy, so I'll be able to throw those onto a trailer. Most of this I'll be doing off camera just because logging and moving the camera around real fast is a little disorienting, especially if I was to put it into a time lapse. But this is just the progress of the farm. So this is why I'm showing it. This is a farm project that we are doing. And realistically, if you were on a hobby farm like this, you would be undergoing projects like this all the time to make yourself more viable in the market. Speaking about being viable in the market, what kind of prices can we get for our tomatoes? Because we have tomatoes and we definitely want to be able to sell those for a profit at some point. Hopefully sooner than later. Oh, well, we're getting up. There's $915 at the Red Marble bowling restaurant. It's going down. February is apparently the best time for $1,015. So we're not quite there yet. Anything around that $1,000 mark, I would be happy with to sell our tomatoes. And we are only in November, so we got a little room to grow there. I don't think we actually own anything else. We do have some eggs. By some, I mean very little. What's the current price for eggs per 1,000 liters? $25.06. How many eggs do we have? We have 198 liters. So that's not even really worth taking down to sell. We could if we were desperate to get another couple $100. But yeah, that's about it. What we should really do is cut up some of the wood here and see if we can sell it. But I also want to see if there's like a little wood trailer that we can get. Tow behind the pickup or even the tractor. Something along those lines. We'll also need to get a stump grinder, which I'll probably use the same stump grinder that we used in the survival series. It's $3,000. I'll probably just end up leasing that. For $3,000, I might actually just buy it though. So the self-made forest trailer is $1,000. We could put this one on the back of a 3-point, can't we? No, we can't. That does not go on the back of a 3-point. So we can lease. There is no rules about not being able to lease in this series. If we lease something like this, we could probably pick up logs, but the cranes in this game are always a little buggy. So I'm gonna try to avoid some of that stuff. And we don't have anything big enough to lift into there because we don't have any lifting capacity. So I think I'm actually just gonna buy this little self-made forest trailer. It's $1,000. That's fine. We'll buy that. And where did our pickup truck go? Where did I park it? Oh, I parked it across the way and then I walked back home. Oh, you're waiting for me to cross? Thank you. Oh, it's nice to be in Canada. Don't have to worry about getting run over by cars flying down the road. So I'm going to run this back over to our backyard, drop the seed bag off, and head her down to the store to buy or pick up our new trailer. Back down here at the store. They definitely have a nice selection going on here. Lots of different goodies. I haven't really talked to them much about the windrower over there. That wasn't really working for us. I'm not sure if they're going to send that back to the manufacturer and see if there's a defect with it, or if it's just built the way it is and it's supposed to do what it does. But yeah, I don't think there's something quite right with this model. When we were using it, it wasn't working quite right. So I'm not sure. I'll probably talk to them later today, see what's going on with that. They helped us out big time with letting us use this John Deere over here with the bale grab and the baler and everything like that. This is just a beautiful tractor. This is. I don't even know how big our farm would have to get to make something like this viable, but it's definitely something I would really like to work towards. I think that combine's pretty much right out of our future, but this tractor, it's something I could see. It's not too big, but it's definitely not small by any means. That front loader with the rear wheel weights being able to pick up 2 bundles of straw or 2 bundles of hay at the same time. That was pretty nice. This case here too, the little Luxem, it's alright. I think it's got over 100 horsepower. It's a little bit smaller than the John Deere, but it's definitely got potential too. I'm not the look wise, I'm not as big of a fan of the looks of this one compared to the John Deere, but I'm pretty sure there's also a pretty big price difference, so yeah. We also got a nice little Massey over there. You know we love our Masseys here on the channel. I wouldn't mind trying out one of the new Kubotas too, because to be honest with you, especially around me, there's a lot more Kubota dealerships than anything else. And it's kind of weird when you actually take a look back. Like, there's 2 Kubota dealerships within 50 kilometers of each other. And you might find the occasional John Deere dealer within 50 kilometers of each other, but 9 times out of 10, one of the John Deere dealers doesn't do large agricultural equipment. It's just like riding lawnmowers and zero turns and stuff like that. Little compact tractors, and not too full-size dealers. But these Kubota dealerships, they've got balers, they've got rakes, they've got tedders, they've got tractors coming out the wazoo. They've got a bunch of different equipment, and they're just everywhere. But there's also the market for it. There's a lot of smaller farms around me that run Kubota equipment. You look up people's driveways and you see an orange tractor. I'm not sure. I know they're decent tractors. I can't say I've ever personally ran one, but yeah, it's there's a lot of Kubotas out by me in southern north, like not super southern Ontario. I'm like mid Ontario realistically, but yeah. So this is our little trailer. It's definitely not big, but we can pull it behind the pickup truck. And we can even throw logs into the bed of the pickup. I'm not planning on getting rich from doing logging, but I would like to make a little bit of money. I'm not even sure if that's going to be small enough for me to pick up. We'll see. Nope. Yeah. So this is going to take a little while, hence why I said I was going to do a lot of it off camera. Picking up piece by piece. I think I might use super strength for a little bit of it to just utilize the trailer a little bit more. Because there's no sense of putting blocks like this into the trailer itself. Kind of defeats the purpose of having the trailer in the first place. Those 2 pieces of wood take up over half of my bed. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. Alright, well, I'm going to see you in a little bit. I'm going to plug away at this. Cut up some wood. Load up the truck. And I'll see you when we got our first load put together. So I've found a tiny issue with some things on this map. And I'm just going to point out the obvious. I have a big log sticking out of my head. So I've noticed this with the 2 of the big trees that I've cut down so far, is that not far up from the trunk of the tree, the collision of the log disappears. So that big log on top of the trailer as well, you can see how it kind of is meshing through that other stump right there as well, or the other log. Yeah, so you can't grab a hold of that, and it doesn't have any physics, so it'll just literally phase through anything. So that's not great. I think this is the road that we want to go down here. I think. So I cut that in a way to where it only has physics on one end. Which is my bad, but that was also the first one that I did, so it doesn't look super great, I will admit. So I will do better for next time. But as it sits, we've got 2 of those logs. I'm not sure if we're even going to get paid for those 2. It is what it is. We are heading to the sawmill right now. They are offering the best price of, if I can quickly jump down here, $1,828 per 1,000 liters. I think that's per 1,000 liters. Wow, look at all the forest over here. No wonder why the sawmill's right here. I think the sawmill's like right here. I think. Yes, the sawmill is right here. Miller Sawmill. That's the train yard right there. Or the train track, sorry. So if we pull up into here, I'm going to have to turn my window back on to show triggers. Interactive zone markers. Okay, we are in the trigger. And I'm assuming we come up over to the house here to sell the wood. Okay, fingers crossed. I'm thinking $3,000. $3,785. I was actually pretty close. So that's not too bad, considering there is maybe a full tree and a half in there. And they're all pretty short pieces of wood anyways, so that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. I am definitely happy with that. That will help us out in the long run. Is this a field here, or is that just a empty space? I think that's a field. That is a field. Field 43. It's a good sized field. I like that. Look at all the trees in here. Oh yeah, these big areas. 372,000. $1.9 million. How about that? 32,000. What's on that side? Now I'm curious. Curiosity killed the cat, you know. There goes the train. Toot toot. On this side. Empty plot of land over here. Empty plot of land for $32,000. I'm sure you could use it as placeable area. I'm not sure how well you can actually get around the sawmill though. I guess you could drive right through there if you wanted to. Yeah, because you can't really drive through this area. Not really sure how they were expecting you to access. Hello? I'll take $1,000 collectible. I'm not just not gonna do them. I guess you can make like a little path down here. You could make a little path down the back side of this. It gets a little tight right here. But, yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. We'll see if there's another collectible along this path here. It doesn't really look like it. So we'll just run back and get in our truck. And get another load of wood. You know? Just do a couple loads of wood. Pass some time. Clear out some area, make a little bit of money. We'll probably end up just buying that stump grinder. It's only $3,000. It should fit on the back of our tractor, no problem. That'll help us a lot for clearing our land over there. So that's the next goal for us, is to buy a stump grinder. I mean, we could buy it now, but We'll sell another load or two of wood first. Load number 2. Driving back through the forest. I can't believe how expensive that forest on the left is. Just shy of $2 million. There has to be a lot of trees in there. Stop. Brakes. We're a little overloaded. A little tippy on the trailer too. Just a little bit. Turn too sharp and yep, that's what happens. I'm screwing around like I was with the pallet on the back of the gator in episode 1. Typical tow man. Just buggering things up. Okay, back in the trigger we go. How much money are we gonna get this time? I'm gonna say $4,000. $3,837. It's about the same. About the same. Not bad. Cannot complain at all. I think we got enough time to do one more load in the day. It's almost 1:30 now. One more load, we'll call it a day. We'll probably have about $13,000 left in the bank. That'll be pretty good. We could buy a few things with $13,000, I think. Either a few smaller things or just one alright sized thing. I'm not 100% sure what's next to be bought, but I know there is a list. And the list is not a short list. Always things to buy. Just don't know what priority they are in yet. I'll have to really take a step back and take a look at what we need next to really help the homestead. And if you've got any ideas on what we should really get next to benefit the homestead, leave them down below in the comment section. While you're down there, you might as well hit the like button. Or the dislike button if you didn't like the video. That's a-okay too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Do a barrel roll while you're down there. Do a backflip. Do anything you want, really, while you watch this video. You could make some toast. You could start a fire. I wouldn't recommend starting a fire, especially if you're watching this inside. That's probably not a good idea. Yeah, please don't do that. Don't tell your parents, yeah, the man on the internet told me to start a fire, and so I did. Next thing you know, I got police banging on my door of inciting arson, I guess it would be. I know it would be inciting violence, but, yeah, I don't know. Do the things down below while you watch my video. Really does mean a lot to me. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you want to do a jumping jack, do a jump jack, do a barrel roll. Do anything your little heart contents. I'll be here chopping up my wood. And here is load number 3. It's now after 2, I think. Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon. Not bad, we got a whole load done in about an hour. This is a little bit smaller. I know this is literally just 2 trees. Big one and a medium-sized tree. And I think a tip of a small one, but $3,630. That brings us up to $14,430. That's not bad. I don't even know why I turned the truck off. Don't know why I turned the truck off. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run down to the store with the tractor and buy that stump grinder, because I would like to grind the stumps as I go. Make it easier for getting in and out of places, and just makes the flow, I find, a little bit better. Because there's nothing worse than cutting down like 100 trees and then realizing, oh, I gotta come back in and stump grind everything. It's much better to just do a little bit as you go. So then it's not a giant task at the end of it. And you're like, oh my god, how can I do all this? Do a little bit here and there as you go. I find that works a lot better. So I'm going to run down to the store, buy a stump grinder for $3,000, and start grinding some stumps. I know it's not super exciting, but this series really isn't. It's just a lot of odd small jobs. Oh, I forgot a branch there. a lot of smaller jobs that will all accumulate to bigger things over time, which I think is any farm realistically. And look at our new fancy dancy stump grinder. It looks like it's seen somewhere already. I'm not sure if it just wears down really fast. Because it definitely, I don't think it looked that bad. This is a third-party mod. It's not super great by any means. It was definitely transferred over from FS19, but it's a cheap stump grinder, and at the end of the day, I just need something that grinds stumps. I know I could be using lumberjack, which I am using, but like the wheel doesn't even actually turn, so that kind of sucks. But oh, that was a cookie of wood that damn near hit me in the head. But all the other stump grinders out there are way too expensive, like way too expensive. And this one's $3,000, which you can buy small stump grinders for around that kind of money. So it kind of works out. Works out all right for us. It was definitely a saving grace in the survival series. That's for sure. We'll go do this one first. And it's definitely going to be a saving grace in this series as well. It was on King Mods. If I can remember where I found the link from, I will try to pin it down below. There we go. That stump took a little bit longer to mulch than the rest of them. It's like, uh-oh, this isn't working out super well. So I will have to run around with the chainsaw and cut out the cookies, or the pies, sorry. The pies of wood there. The stump grinder doesn't actually cut wood at all, so it just leaves all the little pies there. Realistically, it would mulch that up too, but it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. It was a cheap stump grinder, and I can't really complain. I mean, I could. It would definitely be nice if that was actually animated to where it goes around, but for $3,000, it gets us on the move again. We've got land that we can now play around with. We've still got a fair few trees that we got to cut down in here, but that's going to be something that I'm going to do in between this episode and the next, is cut down the trees, maybe do a load. I would probably, I'll definitely, if I do sell anything, I'm going to take a picture of the money that comes in from it, just so you guys know where my money is coming and going from. Not trying to cheat in money into this series. I'm trying to play it slightly roleplay-y, kind of role-play, especially with like what's going on at the dealership. It's more so of just a let's play of, this is my goals that I want to accomplish, and just how my play style is. I'm not really setting myself any goals of not adding any money in or anything like that. Like I added money in to do the store, and anytime I use something down there that the dealership is letting me use, I'm definitely going to be paying them. I'm just not going to be using it for free. But at the same time, if that wasn't an option, oh yeah, I bought a hose earlier, hence why the tractor's clean. If I didn't have anything down at the dealership, I'm all for slow progress and being on the struggle bus a little bit. But if there wasn't anything down there, the amount that we could actually do would be very little, and be very slow, to where it would take quite a few years to be even at the place that we are, because we weren't even able to spawn the equipment down there for that one contract. Speaking of contracts, there is another baling contract. There's a couple of baling contracts actually. Edit, Silage, that's got a Kubota. So the 46 and 8 both have the exact same equipment by the looks of it. Now, I did see something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where field 46 is. Oh, 46 is this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the contract on field 46. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my store deliveries to be right there. So now, if I click the right button, field 46, borrow items. Did that work? It's working. It's working. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. Now, are the bale grabs over here at the actual store? They are back here. Apparently, these spawn back here when everything else is supposed to spawn up here. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this because it gives me something to do, and it'll add a little bit more income. Be silage, so we definitely won't be selling anything right off the hop. But that means I do get to use a new Kubota tractor. The M8, this is the biggest one in the series, actually. I thought they were going to give me one of the smaller ones, to be honest with you. So this is going to be pretty cool, pretty neat. I can't say I've ever actually used a setup like this before, with a small front mower and a mower like this. It's normally like a fold-out mower. One that's just 3-point. It's not a trailed attachment. So this is going to be unique, for me at least. Oh, we ramped right off that guy. Here, let me turn my beacon lights on. Safety first, right? Safety first. Lower you down, turn you on. Cutting grass. Turn you on, lower you down. Contracted work, yeah, I know. And the nice thing is, this tractor comes with GPS, apparently. Didn't know that was an actual feature, but I'm glad it is. And we're mowing. We are mowing. So this is going to be this is going to take the rest of the day for me. I'm playing on ×1 now. We're cutting some grass. We're going to rake it up and bale it for silage, which I hope that's going to work all right in our favor. I'm going to cut a little extra here if I can. See if I can make a little bit of extra money off the contract itself.
Nobody needs to know. Surrender to the grief. Nobody needs to know. Let go. We steer it up, create rings. We make something out of nothing. If you believe, hold on tight. Scream into the night. Make it all glow. Dress up the shit inside. You're part of the rainbow. It's your right. Trauma in every cell. No wonder why we dwell. Medicine don't stand a chance as we dance. Forget among them sins, let go of what has been. Make it all glow, dress up the shit inside. You're part of the rainbow, it's your eyes. Now let it all show, pave the way for the ones behind. We'll be the sun, not a gray cloud. Stand out.
So that was a bit of an adventure. And we just lost a bale. Yeah. That was to be expected, having one smaller bale than the rest of them. But, yeah. I was thinking I should really use that one to finish the contract. But I didn't. That would have been the smarter thing to do. But, you know, didn't do it. But I'm going to drop these bales off at the farm. I'm going to grab that one bale and take the skid steer back to the shop. I grabbed that quickly because I didn't realize the slides actually slid out to grab these bales better. I was thinking that these only really work for the small bales, but turns out they'll work for the medium-sized bales too. I don't know if I'd really want to try them with the big bales, the big round bales, but they seem to work just fine with the medium size, so that's not too bad. I'm gonna go grab that last bale right quick and drop it back off at the farm, and I will finish the contract and we'll see how much money we actually made off of doing this contract. We're sitting at $17,833 at this moment, so that's pretty good. And I think the contract itself was like $7 grand, which is just pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there is a couple different reasons as to why I'm doing these baling contracts. One of them is I'm trying to figure out what method actually works and what method I prefer to do bales, especially if we're doing it on the small scale that we are. Now knowing that these bale grabs work better, I think they're fairly cheap. And if they are, they could fit on the back of our tractor pretty good. And there's a pretty cheap round baler out there as well that we could pull with our tractor. So if that's the case, then round bales and even then silage with a wrapper isn't too far out of the question. So I'm not even sure exactly how much these cost. Let's just turn our lights off here and we'll complete this contract. So the contract pays out $8,195. Apparently it only cost us $182 to lease it. So I can't complain there. We'll collect that. And on our price, we sold $6,395 worth of bales, so silage, and we made 22,000 here today, I think. Something along those lines. Not quite. Under 20,000. So that's not bad. It's not bad at all. And let's see how much that bale grab is. Bale loaders. $2,200. Yeah, that's not bad. That is something that we could do. We could grab ourselves one of these, and we could grab that one. That's 39,000. That's pretty expensive. 80, 60. I was thinking about this one right here. It's pretty cheap. It does 120 centimeter bales, so it's the smaller bales, but then you can wrap them as well. The same wrapper that we were using, that's 22,000. Possibilities are endless. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit all over the place. I'm going to carry on moving some wood. And I'll let you guys know, or keep you guys up to date in the next episode of how much money we actually made from our wood and everything. But as it sits right now, we're sitting at $26,010. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you like me and you like what I do here, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!